Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the final episode of the Skywars Bucket Coding mini-series. It's been a very interesting one, to say the least, and we are almost finally at the end. So, I've done quite a bit off-camera to get up to this episode, things that I'm not 100% sure I could explain while, going through them and debugging them on camera. So, I've made sure they work and all that, and I'm going to explain them really quick. So, here's the list of things that I wrote down we needed to get done. So end of game, basic listeners, commands, world, roll back. Okay. I didn't do a whole. I didn't finish implementing some of the commands though, like the create command. That is not done. So that's just things that you will have to do on your own, but it shouldn't be that difficult if you generally have an understanding of what you need to do to register a game. Like this and so on. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, let's head over to basic listeners. So some of the new ones are these guys. So, player move, you can see here. I've also done something to improve performance quite a bit. Gotta keep it on the safe side. Whenever any player joins a game, whether that be through a spectator mode or whatever, that they're assigned that game in a hash map. So I call this Skywars.getInstance.getGame method, and if they actually have a game, then we check all this stuff here. So I added this isMovementFrozen variable, which is modified in some of the tasks down here, and then I check some things right here just to see if they're moving outside of their spawn position, and then I teleport them back to where they should be. So that's player move. If we go into player damage, again, same thing. I've changed that system. And I'm checking if we're in lobby starting in preparation and they're in the game, we are just going to cancel that damage. There's one more thing I need to go ahead and actually check. We need to say if Skywars, actually, that'd be in here. Well, not necessarily, actually. Well, I'll add that on the GitHub. Essentially, I just want to make a check for if the server is in single server mode, just to always cancel damage. Otherwise, actually, wait, hold on. We can do that here. Never mind. I do know what I'm doing. So skywars.getInstance. Is single server mode. Okay, so let me re-explain this really quick now that we've added that method there. We're going to check if the player is in-game, and if the game is in lobby starting in preparation, we're going to cancel that damage. Otherwise, if they're not in a game, we're going to check if the server is in single server, and if they are, we're going to cancel that event. Cool. That's good to go. So hopefully that's understood now. Right here, this is something I also need to check if the server is in single server. So we're going to getInstance.is single server mode. Cool. There we go. So we're going to check if the server is in single server mode. We're going to check if the spawned entity is not a player, or if the entity is not a player and not a dropped item, we're just going to completely kill it. And one thing I actually should probably add is event.getEntityType or does not equal entityType.prime TNT. Just to make sure that TNT can actually explode and spawn and all that, because that's something that I added into my my tiering for the chests. Okay, so that's good to go. That's how this method works. And again, just want to quickly add in here, the GitHub has all of this code, or will have it all by the time this video is uploaded. Okay, so here in block interact, we have on place and on break. We just handle them the exact same way. Pass in a cancelable, which means we can cancel this event based upon these conditions. And again, one more thing I need to quickly check here. I need to say if skywars.getInstance.is single server mode, then we just need to set this canceled if the game is null. Okay, cool. So that's good. So that's all of our events there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the command system. So this is relatively similar to how we did the hollow commands. It was pretty inspired by that. And so on. So let's actually delete this since this isn't getting made in this version. So there we go. We have our list command and our join command. And so our list command will list all of the games. The join command will only execute if the server is in single server mode. Yeah. Oh, you know what? One thing. Hold on. Huh. I need to actually change this to if the server is not in single server mode, then we're going to execute the join command. Okay, because that's the intention of the join command, just to only work on that one mode, just to ensure Bungie support and all that if you choose to add it into your respective plugin. Okay, there we go. That makes sense now. So yeah, so they can join. We can actually go into join command here and check out how that works. Come on, there we go. So it's just an execute method with arguments and so on. And this method is still unoptimized. Rest in pieces. Yeah. So we can just hop out of there. List command, not really that important. It just takes all the games and lists them like this. And then here's the argument parsing. This is moderately important. And then it goes down into here and converts it into an array. Okay, so that's how the command system works. That's not super difficult. All right, so finally, world rollback. So here's how this guy works. We have two different rollback methods. Well, technically one, but one that passes in a world and then one that passes in a world name. They're each used respectively at a certain point, whether that be within the game class or in the very end of the server life cycle or so on. You see right here, this one is rolling back based upon a string, and I believe this one is rolling back based on the world if the server shuts down. So yeah, this is essentially how this works. So we make sure to unload this world if we pass in a world, which makes sure that everything works as expected. Then we get the actual world folder wherever it's saved. So if I actually take a look at our server here that I have set up with DigitalOcean, you can see I have example and example underscore active. You can ignore the backup. That's just in case I mess something up when testing this. So what we do is we take the source here, we take the dest. I actually need to do one check here. If dest folder dot exists, dest folder not make directory. Okay, cool. That'll just make sure that dest. Oh, wait. Never mind. That's already handled. Haha. Okay, cool. Already thought of that one then. All right. So essentially, what this guy does now is it checks. If the file is a directory. Okay, I need to stop copying pasting code from my other projects because then I get different syntaxes. Anyways, I check if the file we're trying to delete is a directory. Then we need to recursively go into all of it and kill it all. So this just wipes out the entire active folder right here. So it's just gone now. So everything there is completely dead. Then we go into copy folder, which it checks if the source is a directory. So the source is the non-active one, so the source folder up here. We check the destination exists, and if it does not, we're going to make that directory just to ensure everything works properly. We're going to list all the files in source, and we're going to copy. We're just going to copy them. So copy folder is kind of poorly named there, but it will just copy all the files and so on. And right here, that's the what this does. It just does file input output streams and byte arrays and so on and so forth. This stuff I don't honestly quite understand. I found it on the internet, and it seems to work just fine. So there we go. That is everything that's been done so far. So let's go ahead and I am going to set up my other computer so I can actually test this and show you all where exactly we are so far. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so while my other computer boots, I'm just going to show you what exactly happens right now. So I've been on this server for a decent amount of time, probably like 20 minutes or so, and I've spawned here at the lobby, so I'll leave really quick just to show this off. Right here, so I'm just teleported into the lobby whenever I join. Actually, I don't think I am when I'm... No, that doesn't happen when it's in single servers. And never mind, I'm not teleported. I'm just always here. So, if I go ahead and say Skywars, it's going to give me that. This is the outdated version of the plugin, so the changes that we just made are not going to take effect until I update it. So if I type in join, it doesn't do anything because this is in single server, I think. So let's fix that. Let's update this plugin first of all. And go into here, config, bring this, whoops, need to switch windows there. Single server mode, we want that to be false. Yeah, okay, I think I might have just broken something then. If I just type in reload, cool, it's gonna, oh, so it is teleporting me. Okay, never mind, then it is working. Skywars join, Okay, that's very strange. I just updated it too. Oh, you know what? Let's check this guy. So if we're not in single server, is this just returning false then? Hold on. Let's say, just to be lazy, whoops, system.out.println SS mode colon, whoops, let's do that, Skywars.get instance is single server mode. Alright, let's see if this works properly here. Go back into FileZilla, go up a little bit, upload this guy, and reload the server. There we go, working fine now. That's a little strange. Okay, so now my other computer is booted. I'm going to go ahead and get it all set up and joined as well. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I went ahead and joined the server. I'm going to quickly join the game on this account here, and join the game on this account. So, cool, I'm in now, although it did not teleport me this time. That's a little strange. I don't know, it'll teleport me momentarily, I'm sure. So that's all good. Okay, yeah, I just got teleported. Cool. So, awesome. Where's the other account? Should be like, there it is. Cool. So we see that there. We can open the chest, get our items, and so on. If we were to, okay, now, okay, at this point we're kind of screwed. I'm going to use the other account just for proof of concept here. And to make this a little more interesting, I'll aim the camera up this way. So let's go like this. Cool, I have wood now, so I got wood from the chest on this account, although you guys can't see this. If I was to make my way over here. Oh, this is really funny to watch from both perspectives. Okay, can I please just get over to the spot? So obviously you would probably want to make your chest cheering a little better than mine. Mine was just done in a hurry and for proof of concept. Okay, so cool. So here we go. It's great. You see we built this wood thing over here. Now I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to kill sudo op there. And dead. And sudo op was just turned into a spectator. I do need to cancel the damage and so on, but yeah, cool. So they have normal use of spectator mode and so on. So that's pretty cool. If we were to go back in here, we haven't won the game. So that's what we need to work on now. So finally, we're all the way here. But one proof of concept I just want to do is reload the server and show this happening here. So we still have our items, and something I need to quickly fix. But if I was to go ahead and type Skywars join example again, and we get teleported in, if we look around, there's no, hopefully I'll be able to run around quick enough, there's no wood to be found. It's 100% reset, and the game is ready to be used again. It's just taking it from the source directory, or the template rather, and there we go. Also, I need to set game modes and all that back. It's a slight problem there. But yeah, so you get the concept, you get the items and so on. If we open it again, we actually don't get those again, which is essentially how you would expect this to work. Okay, cool. So this is all good to go. We can just go ahead and reload the server one final time. Looks like it, okay. I thought it took my items from me that time. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and iron out some of those bugs we just saw. One of which is for, whoops, I want to say this dot, so player game map, so wait, hold on. For entry, player game, entry, colon, boom. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and say, for every single player that is attached to a game, we're going to go ahead and teleport them all to this lobby spot. Actually, we need to, well, we need to say if is single server mode. If we're only using this one server, then we want to teleport everyone for sure. Otherwise, we're just going to teleport everyone in-game to that lobby position. So we're just going to say get key dot teleport get lobby point. We need to say entry dot get key dot clear, or dot get inventory dot clear, and we need to do another thing with the inventory access, which is just set the armor contents equal to a new item stack array of 0, and I believe that works like so. Cool, so that will just go ahead and get rid of all of our items. I think that's how I did it last time. Let me see. Something. Oh, I didn't show the tasks. I probably should have done that. Huh. I think it's when I actually join the game is when it clears my inventory. Let's see here. Set armor contents null. Okay, I'll just set this to null then because I know that works. What else do I do when we teleport them in there? Oh yeah, set their health. That's a good one. So we just need to say entry.getKey, set health to be entry.getKey.max health. Right here I want to say entry.getKey dot set game mode to be survival. And right here, when we boot the server for the first time, we want to say if is single server mode. Then we are going to say for player colon bucket dot get online players. Okay, I want to rename this so it's a little more clear because it's getting really confusing on what actually single server mode is, and I made it. So run only one game. Yeah, that's essentially this is just Bungie mode. So let's go ahead and say player.set game mode adventure, and so on. Yeah, okay, cool. So I think at this point we should be good to go. Actually, what I want to do real quick is I want to say for player colon game.get world.get players. We're just going to teleport all of the players that may still be inside this world out of it, just to ensure that we have no one there, and to make sure that we don't have any issues when we do that. Okay, cool. So that's all working. So let's go ahead and take all those off the list. Whoops. What the heck? I don't know why it's doing that. It's being glitchy. IntelliJ, why? Oh my gosh, it does that all the time now. It's so weird. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go ahead. Let's go into player death here. Okay, that's okay. We'll ignore that. All right. So here we go. We are inside this game. We need to go ahead and say if game.getPlayers.count or .size is less than or equal to 0. Actually, less than or equal to 1. Then we need to go ahead and say game.setState GameState.ending. And you could choose to implement the deathmatch mode. I don't think I'm going to. I don't really see it as necessary when you have this small of a map to have a deathmatch. They'll find each other eventually. Of course, you could do that if you wanted to, or you could add things like compasses. You know, really do whatever you want. This is just the basic framework, and so on. So let's go ahead and say game.sendMessage. Well, we need to say we're going to try and catch for a index out of bounds exception EX. And at this point, we're going to just actually set this to ignored. We don't care if that exception happens. We just want to make sure that it doesn't crash our server or anything like that. So player winner equals game.get. Actually, game player winner equals game.get players.get. Oops. Can I not get anything? Oh, it's a set. Are you kidding me? Did I really make it a set? Okay, to array in x of 0. Okay, apparently that's not going to work. Alright, to solve this, I have a very simple solution. It's going to be change the set to be a list. Are you kidding me? Okay, just work. Okay, so it's list now. We're going to be a new array list right here. So the only thing that needs to be a list is the players, just so we can access things at certain positions. So say list. So game.get players.get 0 should suffice. So we're going to say if winner.is team class, then we're going to broadcast this a little differently. Then we would otherwise, so broadcast team win and give win. Okay, so right now we're gonna say okay, we're gonna say a plus winner dot get player dot get name. Actually, we do have a native get name method in game player, which should just return their name, right? Yeah, cool. How convenient. So won the game or something like that. Now I want to actually damage should be disabled if we're not in those. Yeah. Okay. So if we're in, we should actually set this to game.is state ended. Ending rather. Player death. Need to say if game dot is state game state dot ending. Just gonna return. Actually, we're gonna say if we're not in active and we're not in deathmatch, then we'll do that. So yeah, that should be good to go. Let's go ahead and build this and see how this goes. So if we do this, go on here, reload the server. It's going to handle all that here. It's not going to clear my inventory since we're not on single server mode, just for testing purposes. So Skywars join example, I'm going to join there, and I'm going to say Skywars join example, so I'm in there. One thing that I just want to point out, it's not teleporting me into the world when I join second. So let's actually check that out real quick. So we're going to say if lobby or starting. Okay, so it's teleporting them to nowhere. If we're in starting, I think. So we will just fix that up momentarily. So I'm just gonna pretend to bridge this way. Maybe light some things on fire. Hopefully I can get some like TNT or something and blow stuff up. Nothing in here. Okay, that has happened sometimes with some of the tiering I've done. That might just be because of the poor tiering I did, or just the way I designed the system. So feel free to tweak anything you want to make Skywars your own. I think I'm going to put it under like the MIT license, so you can really do whatever you want with it. So feel free to really do anything. That is why these tutorials are here. So let's see, can we get, oh yes, finally, perfect. Okay, so I'll just drop this here, blow that up. Cool. So awesome. So I think if we go over there and kill or get killed or anything like that, then the game should be over. So let's shoot myself down over there, if I can actually reach that. Come on. I have not actually. There we go. So Jordan Osberg won the game. Awesome. So it worked just fine. At this point, you would probably kick people off of the game into like a lobby. So if we were to, if I was to actually leave on this other account, should not trigger that a second time. Cool. That's working fine. And actually, one thing I want to point out, in player leave, if someone leaves, it kills them if they're in the game, just to make sure that quitting is processed as death. So there we go. Oh, it also disabled all this stuff. So cool. If I was to say reload now, it's gonna teleport me out. It's gonna take off all my armor and kick me out of the game. Awesome. That's it. We are now done with this series. That's kind of incredible. Yeah, that's awesome. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this series. I'm gonna move down my suggestion list for other episodes and so on. I'm also going to start on some of the new series that were voted on in the poll a few episodes back. So that'll be pretty awesome. Again, if you have any suggestions for anything related to my channel or my series or anything like that, leave them down in the comments below. Send me an email anyway. I do read everything I get. And the support recently has been amazing. So thank you all so much for that. If you want to see the code for this series, it's going to be freely available. Most likely under the MIT license, but don't quote me on that, on my GitHub page, which will be linked down below. I believe that's everything. One thing to note, don't use this current state of the Skywars plugin on an actual server. There are many bugs, not many, but there's a handful of bugs that are moderately important to get solved. So yeah, just make sure you you take a look and you QA this a lot better than I did. If you want to actually use this on a server. Okay, I think that's about everything. Hope you all have a great day. Take care.